All right, everybody, welcome to the penultimate round. I think it's penultimate round. It's only Australia after this, right? Yeah. Of the MRL Tier 5 Championship for Season 10. We're going to one of the most historic and exciting tracks on the calendar, Spa. So we have something that we have been looking forward to for a while, to be honest. Taking a little bit of a look at this circuit and viewing the track map. For some reason, it's absurdly zoomed in because OBS sucks. So we're going to fix that real quick. There we go. Now we have a full view of the actual track, 19 corners to make your way around, and 2 DRS zones, one on the main straight, one, of course, just after the iconic Eau Rouge and Radillion, and I completely butchered those names, but that's fine. Taking a good look, it's a gorgeous day, according to the scenic cam, and it is just as gorgeous out on track right now. Let's go ahead and take a look as we ride on board with Tolby, who just finished a flying lap, as he makes his way through Eau Rouge. Meanwhile, we have Norbash making his way through, and now around here, Spa, in terms of corner names, I'm actually the most knowledgeable. I am the most knowledgeable at this circuit, and the only corners I know are the bus stop chicane, Eau Rouge, and Radillion. That's it. That's all I know. I don't know any of the other ones.
Really quick question: why am I Batman?
Yeah, I fixed that. And that isn't Batman. That's just man. There's a difference.
No, that's me. That was an accurate representation of me.
Yeah, I mean, like, see, if you have man, you notice he doesn't have the bat ear, so he's just man.
Just man.
He's just man. Yeah.
This one, yeah, this
go
probably
ahead.
the track I'm also most knowledgeable about, and I think I know pretty much every corner, besides the little chicane.
Yeah, I'm terrible with names. I'm terrible with remembering names. I'm actually horrific when it comes to that. Big Laser goes fastest overall, 142.144. That's a good time. But like I was saying, like, I am the worst with names. I can't remember names for the life of me. But faces, on the other hand, I'm really good at. Like, I can't remember many people's names very well. But I still remember the face of this one person I just happened to pass by on the regular in high school. And I could, like, draw it out right now, even though I'm a terrible artist. But, like, faces, really good. Names, no. Really not.
Then I think last week we had our championship wrapped up too.
We did. Jim managed to seal the deal. So despite currently being P10, it really doesn't matter. He's got the championship fully sealed for himself. Something I'm sure he's quite happy about. Something I know he's less happy about is moving up into Tier 4 in the following season. So we'll have to see what he can do going into that next year. Oh, Jim, nearly... Okay, never mind. Yeah, he did lose the car. Yeah, he got on the curb a little bit too much. That inside curb right there is an absolute killer. Although, I will say, this part, honestly, just the entirety of Sector 2 is probably my favorite part of the whole track.
Yeah, Sector 2 is really fun. Mostly just, pure driver skill. And it's a lot of corners, but it's the longest sector, I think, in Formula 1.
I think you may be right on that. Yeah. Around this circuit, now typically you're going to run low downforce because this long back stray, and the entire long straight after that. Now, that is a viable setup, but there have been a couple times where I've seen people run higher downforce setups, not by an insane amount, but still higher downforce, and it's been massively successful. Of course, the downside is you're going to be absolutely destroyed on any straight line by everybody else, but through this section in Sector 2, for example, like, you're going to be gapping by a significant margin. Kind of like the significant gap between the Mercedes and McLaren at Saudi, Sector 1, if you know what I'm talking about. Like, that particular part could be devastating. JT just put it in a Sector 2, so he may be running a little lower downforce, and that was a tire, so I'm sure someone crashed through there. That does not bode well for the race. Spa is one of the longest circuits on the entire calendar. And it is the longest straight up.
Yep, it is the longest straight up, and it actually breaks their own rules and regulations of how long a track can be.
But it's Spa.
Yeah, it's been there for so long. They've been racing it before it was even in the rules. So yeah, and John does work with some insider information. Wet race. So we are going to see some higher wings here.
Let's go! I love seeing dynamic weather. It's always great to see dynamic weather occur because obviously, you know, risk versus reward and all that. Now, my question is it full wet or is it going to go from wet to dry?
He says maybe a little before halfway through, going to be pouring.
Okay, so it's starting dry, then to wet. Is that what we're getting here?
It could. No, I think it might be. Is it going to be dry to wet to dry? Oh, so
wait, dry to wet to dry? You're joking. It's like that.
Yeah, but John says wet to the end. So some people, the way that
okay, we're getting conflicting reports from John and JT.
The way the weather is listed in the race is that sometimes it's kind of bugged, and the really thing you have to look at is the very first icon, and then the track temperatures and the percentages. The weather icons are usually never right, unless it's talking about the very first one. So yeah, the weather is also, it's just F123, so you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I love some dynamic weather because it always, again, you need to nail your strategies. You got to pit at the perfect time, especially at a track like this because this track is massive. So
yeah,
if you do not get your time properly, you will be suffering massively. It's not like a circuit like Austria where you could get away with such a thing because, you know, lap time around there is super, super quick. But around here, around a circuit this massive, you need to nail your timing. That can be the difference between victory and potentially out of the points, depending on how things go. So, yeah, of course, some people... honestly, at a circuit as long as this, I would say the moment it starts raining, you might as well just go in and pit. Pit for the enters and just move on with those. That would probably be the best call. Like, it's not like another circuit, like, say... well, bringing back Austria again, you could probably go 1 or 2 laps while it's raining and get away with it, and then pit, but at a circuit like this, no. One track that you can do surprisingly well in a little bit of wet weather, and you witnessed this yourself, and I experienced it myself, and that's rain in China. Like, now granted, as someone who was racing that time, the game collectively screwed us all over by forcing us to start with slicks, despite it actively raining.
Yeah, I think that's genuinely just a bug at China, because I was doing some ranked races there forever ago, and it made us do the same exact thing.
Yeah.
China's one of those, is a really long track, too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but surprisingly, as I discovered, and quite a few others did as well, it's like, oh, wait. This is manageable. And we just kind of toughed through it until it dried out and just ran a regular strategy.
Yep, the weather here at Spa is pretty crazy.
Yeah, 2021.
Yeah, the F2 race, I think on Friday we went from full wet to dry to wet again.
Jesus.
Yeah, and 25 laps in F2 cars, which was just not fun. And I was on a default setup. It was not fun. Yeah, Bouncy is coming to the line. He's 3/10 up through sector 2, so bus stop show. He's gonna pit. Okay, never mind. I'll just shut up.
Yeah,
Bouncy.
Oh, Marmo gets a 5-place grid penalty for illegal blocking. What happened? Did he block his own teammate? Oh, wait. No, how could he get in trouble for blocking his own teammate? Unless it was the Williams of he blocked Dutch Raven. That must have been what happened. Despite that, Dutch Raven is 3/10 up.
I was watching Dutch Raven. It probably is just a game bug because
I would not be surprised because like this game is a little. Well, okay, no, I take that back. It's not a little. It's very whack. Okay,
yeah, it's probably the worst coded game I've ever. He's towing his own team. They're both on Atlaps burn.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't know. It's genuinely just a terrible game coding wise. Gameplay is fine.
The gameplay is better than 22. I'll give it that much. Oh my god,
coding is
22. Beginning of the game's life cycle, driving was great. It was perfectly fine, and then it somehow got progressively worse until the point that You just felt like you were driving around on ice skates the whole time, and it was just genuinely infuriating. And one of the reasons why I quit racing, also, in my previous league, racing standards went to... And, yeah, I just was tired of DNFing every race. Thankfully, racing standards here, of course, are excellent, as you've seen. Except when we're at Jeddah, but it's Jeddah, this is to be expected. Jeddah is the exception, I would say. It's a brutal track.
Jeddah was something.
Meanwhile, we have Zoso, who's beginning a new fly lap, making his way down the long straight. Of course, one of the most iconic moments in Formula 1 in the modern era took place here. For those who know, 2018. Probably one of the most iconic lines from any commentator in the entire sport were said in that very part of the circuit. And, I mean, I gotta say, like, that part, it still is wonderful to this day. Zoso has found a 10th thus far. And, well, that's to be expected, that you're not going to find much time in that first sector. The most time, I think, is going to be gained in the second and third sectors. Second sector is going to be the most impactful with how you run it, because, of course, that's where the most corners are. You got to nail each corner as you go through one by one, but it has a really nice rhythm to it as you make your way through. And Zoso has certainly found some more improvement. Half a second has now been gained. At the current moment, that's still not going to be enough to beat anybody, so he's going to have to find some more time in this final sector. And if you nail the post-stop chicane, that is going to be a very, very huge boost for yourself, especially if you nail the exit out of the final corner. That's going to give you a nice burst of speed. Zoso, I think he could have pushed a little bit more out of the final corner still. It's going to be a good improvement and enough to beat Tolby.
Yeah.
And actually, he's tied with Benzo. They both have the exact same lap time. I can't believe it took me that long to register. Jim has retired? Did he just retire in the pits? There must be a limited amount of time. Okay, yeah. Less than a minute left. Wait, some of these people are on outlaps? Wait, Norbash and Jake aren't going to make it. Okay, Jake's going to make it. Norbash isn't. Norbash came out way too late.
Seconds.
Yeah, I mean, but look at where he is.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought he was the other.
No,
Ferrari.
no, Norbash is nowhere near it. He's not going to make it, especially since he's just cruising along. Dutchy isn't going to make it either. He's too far. Why did these people go out so late?
I don't know.
Toby's going to make it, but he needs to hoof it.
Dutch Raven's gonna be. Ooh, Dutch Raven. I don't think he's gonna.
No, he's not making it. Why do they come out this late?
Tolby needs to go out too.
Yeah, I know. He's not hoofing it enough. Okay, there he goes.
Alright.
That's just a little whack.
And there's a car on the outside of the local.
Oh, bouncy invalidates. JT, meanwhile, he's found some improvement. Unfortunately, I don't think it will be enough to put himself any higher. Actually, it's going to be enough to beat Great Ace. As Great Ace just crossed the line, JT is going to... Well, he didn't find any improvement. Oh, Great Ace beats him out, and Ferrari is looking absolutely brilliant right now. Meanwhile, the Hastu, Omarmo, and Nathan are actually quite close to each other. Omarmo finding marginal improvement. Nathan going on just a little bit behind, and that's the car getting out of the way for the both of them. Bum is... Yeah, okay, he's done. Benzo has found over a second and a half and is getting towed along very nicely by this Haas. Unfortunately, though, he's going to suffer a little bit in this chicane here, but we're about to see these Haas's cross the line. Oh, that Haas goes wide. That is going to be a lot of time lost. So Marvel crosses the line. Benzo crosses the line. Alpine is in a very good spot right now.
Yeah. The Alpines, the Ferraris, the Haas are all in a good spot.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the Williams are both a little bit together, a little bit further back. McLaren as well is not having the greatest time. And, well, the sole AlphaTauri on the track is currently on pole by a solid margin. Of course, as we've seen in Tier 5, just because you have the highest pace, and, well, honestly, this applies to any tier, to be honest. Qualifying isn't everything, and having the fastest pace doesn't necessarily guarantee victory. It's going to be about nailing your strategies and having good consistency. and just staying out of trouble. That's what's going to really get you the result that you're looking for.
Just being lucky with safety cars.
Yeah, I mean, also, yeah, a little bit of luck, you know. If you manage to nail your opportunity, then it'll work out. A funny story, that's how in Bahrain, I started on softs praying for an early safety car and it never came. So I just had to just, I literally winged the rest of my race strategy up until the end. I
Soft medium is a strat to go in Bahrain.
Yeah, and I didn't know that, and I discovered it while in the middle of doing said strategy. It was kind of whack, but yeah. Strategies here though, you cannot get away with soft medium here. The tire wear is way too powerful. It is quite brutal. And besides, with the weather dynamic changes, it's not going to be the case anyways. Omaro is going to be dropped down to P10 after he has to serve the 5-place grid pen, which honestly, like you said, I think the game just royally screwed him over there. So, quite unfortunate for him.
Yeah. And yeah, you could have been P4 with your lap in tier 6, but also these guys are probably running wet setups.
Oh, yeah.
42-1, I think, is probably a little slow for tier 5, or just what we're used to seeing in tier 5.
Right.
A 4/10 gap, and that was his banker. I watched him DNF on his last run. Through the little right-left flick chicane, just took a little too much curb and got his rear tire spun on the grass. And if you spin over there, the walls, that's the closest place where the walls are, and they're pretty easy to find.
Yeah, I suspect that a couple more people will be finding the wolves because Spa itself is already, how would I put it? I wouldn't say it's necessarily the hardest track on the calendar, but it's really a test of endurance more than any other track due to its sheer length. So, yeah, these drivers are going to have to make sure that they just keep that consistent rhythm at a track like this. And with the dynamic weather, it's certainly going to change up a couple things.
And it looks like we're starting dry.
Yeah, we are starting dry, but according to the drivers, it's going to transition to wet. So,
then John said full wet, so we might see, and then back to dry. Some said so we might see dry, enter wet,
dry. Oh, I was going to say dry, enter wet, enter dry.
Yeah.
I actually did that once in a career mode in F1 2019. It was Hungary. And I saw the strategies and went, this sucks. Here we go.
Here we go.
5 red lights coming on here in Belgium. Lights are out. We are underway. Jake gets a great start. Looks like JT got a good start too. Both the Aston Martins had a brilliant start and are immediately up multiple places. The Hasses, however, did not get the ideal start they were looking for. Bouncy is going to lose out just barely to JT as they all file in line for the run through Rouge. Side by side, there's no way. They went side by side! These drivers are not holding back, and Terms is already out. Oh my god. Terms could just not catch a break.
Nor is there a safety car.
Yeah, no safety car either. Oh, and that was nearly disaster. I really thought Omarma was about to clip Great Ace there. So that was a close one. I wouldn't, not implying Omarma would be at fault there. Great Ace was just kind of filing in a dangerous moment. Oh, speaking of, he nearly lost the car there in that moment as well. Meanwhile, Nathan is on the hunt after Dutch, and Obi and John have both elected to use soft tires. Most have gone mediums, and a few have gone hard tires. Now, the softs, they're going to die quickly, like, what, 3 laps?
Yeah, they'll probably switch over around 4 laps, 4 laps to the mediums. They're still going to be incredibly quick throughout here. Yeah, I think we saw some people with quali bans or just
John was one of them. Yeah.
So we're going to see some people moving through the field. John does work started on
Something that's happened to Great Ace. Oh, he's lost out heavily.
Yeah, he kind of just came back onto the track right on the racing line.
We got a move going on up ahead. That is Angry Shadow having to fend off John Doe's work. Meanwhile, JT and Normbash are going wheel to wheel. We have a close battle here right now, and Bouncy is all over the back.
Yeah, Benzo had a moment too coming out of the bus stop chicane. JT driven down the inside of the little sauce, the first corner of the track. Really tight hairpin. Benzo is going to get a better exit. He has more battery than JT on the run through a Rouge. Bouncy also gets the move done. the Alpines are together again as they have been, and yeah, Benzo's just going to get a massive slipstream all the way down. Same with Nornbash, so overtaking in the first corner may not be the best thing today because, yeah,
I mean,
this straight is long.
yeah, JT has managed to seal the deal, though. Despite that long run, he's managed to hold off the Alpine and remains ahead as we make our way into Sector 2. Brilliant defense from JT. Meanwhile, Bouncy is being let through by his teammate. Looks like Benzo has more faith in his teammate's pace than his own.
Yeah, both of the Nornbash had a moment. Tolby almost went through, but yeah, Bouncy getting let through by Benzo. I don't know. I mean, it's lap 2, guys. You don't have to do that yet. But let's see if JT can close up to Jake.
Yeah, it may just be a good team call. I mean, I think Dutchy just had a little bit of a moment there. Hard tires this early on. It's not really ideal, in my opinion, especially since it's going to be transitioning to wet weather soon. My question is, how long before the weather does get wet? 3-second time penalty already for Bouncy? It's barely lap 2, and he's already got a time penalty. That does not bode well for the rest of the race. And something has happened to Cobb. Looks like he's spun out. Yeah, he has.
How do you get 3 warnings in 2.5?
1.5.
Laps?
Yeah, I mean, like, if he's got that quickly, how many more penalties is he going to get by the end? And we've seen already.
Big pile up into the bus.
Oh, and then she get. Oh my God! It just gets worse.
Yeah.
Oh man, the Williams have gone from riches to rags in just a short moment. That is absolutely brutal. Oh, illegal overtaking issues are going on here. Oh, the game once again showing terrible coding as a VSC has now gone through. What is happening? These cars are at a full stop! Oh my God. Well, the VSC has just completely cut the bottom part of the pack off. Everybody from John down is now almost 9 seconds back. That is just brutal.
Yeah, that was rough. I think it was between the battle for P6 and P7 around that area. I think it was Zoso or Dutch Raven went up the inside into the bus stop chicane on Tolby, who was on the soft tire, and just spun and, in front of everyone.
Oh, Case and White in the chat reacting to you commentating.
Yeah, you'll see every week. There's like 4 people.
Yeah, meanwhile, it looks like we're having a Haas battle going on here. Dutchy has retired. That's a safety car. How did he... Oh, that's brutal. He lost it on the curb, oversteered, smashed into the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am quite certain that it is exactly how it happened because I've seen it before and I've experienced it before. That's like a textbook way to DNF. Yeah, I mean, he was far enough off the track that that's to be expected. Like, he was well out of the way. If he was, like, partially on the track, that would be a different story. And still, it's doing this bottom group no favors whatsoever. Still, John has actually closed the gap by a good margin. But you can see the field really starting to spread, only half a lap difference between P1 and P16.
And PNW bomb into the pits. I don't know what he's doing
damage?
Maybe it's so hard.
It's either damage or wanting to... I disagree with this call unless he's got damage.
I don't think he's got damage. If he gets a free pit stop out of it, I don't disagree. Maybe the rain's coming later than expected, getting onto their second set of tires. The hard tires will be better to the end. Obviously, maybe till the rain comes. So.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
it's like a strategy call with the weather. He gets a free pit stop. He doesn't lose really that many spots. He lost 3 spots.
Oh, a drive-through penalty for Tolby. He's already in last. This game is just kicking him while he's down. That is just ruthless. Meanwhile, the two Haas are sticking close together. The Alfa Romeos not too far away from each other either. And the two Alpines right now, they're just trundling along together as Benzo is just hanging onto the coattails of Bouncy, who's trying to catch up on JT, who is trying to catch up on Jake. Jake has not quite lost JT just yet, so I think we're going to see a battle between the AlphaTauri and Aston Martin here soon enough.
quick, so far this race, he's made a bunch of overtakes since he only qualified P5, but up into P2, DRS is enabled, even though we've had two VSCs, so we haven't been able to use it, but DRS is enabled, and he's got to stay within DRS here. 8/10, I think he will, if Jake's not using any more battery, so he'll stay within it. I think he's running a bit higher wings than Jake, too. Jake was pulling away on the Blanchimont straight. So yeah, Bouncy also dropped out of DRS. Can the two Alpines work together to try and work their way back into it? I don't know. We'll see. Normbash 4 seconds back. I think he was. I don't know if he was involved in that incident or he just doesn't have the pace. And then Jim was behind that incident. So all these guys from 6 down were involved in that bus stop chicane incident. So that's why there's such a big field spread.
Yeah, meanwhile, Jim is in a very severe danger right now because Omarmo is right on his heels, and he's about to get a nice helping of DRS as well on top of all that. They're both relatively even when it comes to battery, so at this point, it's going to be a battle of what wing type did you go for, and DRS. Oh, that's a safety car! Oh, never mind. Omarmo's still going for the overtake. Why? Safety car, come on. Okay,
yeah, well
hey, free pit stop, and this really didn't work out for, was it Bum? Yeah, Bum. Bum just pitted with the VSC, and this just really did not work out for him.
Yeah, Cop K just, spun for the 4th or 5th time this race already.
He got no wing. Wait, why didn't he pit? Well,
he was past the safe.
Okay.
He spun it coming out of the bus stop chicane. So, he was past the pit lane before he lost his front wing.
And John, meanwhile, is going to get the freest pit stop of all time. That works out, perfectly for him. That is genuinely perfect. And right now, they were talking about wet weather. We have yet to see it. Still, the two VSCs and the safety car, it's going to slow down this race and thus bring in that wet weather just a little bit earlier because of it.
Doesn't look like there's any
no clouds in the sky. I'm not really seeing it either. It's a little cloudy. It seems like it's slowly but surely starting to get fully overcast. But I mean, you can still very clearly see the sun is shining. It's beautiful right now.
Yeah, if anyone in chat wants to let us know what Mark is saying when you get behind the safety car, don't text and drive. What Mark might be saying, how long Rain and JT just hit the wall going into the pit? I don't know.
There's no way he just did that.
He did, but I don't know if he's got damage. Doesn't look like it.
If he does, then the team won't replace it right away.
No. Well, unless you change it to yes, but it doesn't look like he's got any damage on that front wing right now, so he escaped. But, yeah. Don't want to do that again.
I think your dog is having really valuable input right now. I agree with him.
Yeah, he's really just, he's confused with the call. Softs. So, I mean, I think that means rain in 5 minutes. Okay. You don't put on softs if there's no rain.
Wait, why did John stay out?
I don't know. That one is actually a little confusing.
Okay. John must be gambling on the wet weather to just arrive in sunny 1 second and then just downpour the next. What? I kind of disagree with my former teammate's call right now. I mean, then again, with the weather, we don't have access to all that, so he probably knows something we don't. And I mean, he may be making a gamble here, which could very well pay off. Still, I think it would have been worth it to do that call, honestly. He wouldn't have lost any positions. If he did, it wouldn't be by much. I think it would be worth the risk.
I'm a little confused, with JT's call. I don't...
The weather must be coming soon.
Yeah, it's definitely darkened up, but still, you were quicker than Jake. I mean, I get it sometimes. I just have fun overtaking cars. So, if you want to pit and have fun, I completely get that. I mean, the championship's wrapped up. Constructors might as well be wrapped up. So, he wants to have fun, but I think also the softs are so fast around here compared to the other tires. So.
That's very true. And yeah, you are right about the weather. It's subtle, but it is getting more and more overcast. I think that call about potentially rain in 5 minutes, I think you're right on the money on that one.
I'm just looking because we were right here on this straight when we were talking about the weather last lap. There was barely any clouds in the sky, but now you can see this big fat one if you look back on JT's rear wing.
Oh yeah, the
It's getting
weather, it's coming around from all sides too. There are
yeah, it's like
barely any
encasing
patches of
it.
blue sky left. Yeah, it's definitely coming very soon. So I think JT, I think this is actually a big brain move from
I think
JT.
yeah, it is a good call because the softs are also going to just be better in the wet. They obviously they have more grip, they have more surface, they're softer, so they'll give off more grip, and then they're also warm up better in the wet. He's warming them up pretty aggressively now. The track's going to cool down. They're going to have more grip available to the tires with the cooler temps, but keeping them in that temperature window is going to be the tough part. So Jim on the hards, everyone on the hards right now is going to struggle when this rain does come, and not knowing F123, like it could be raining for 4 laps and it'd still be quicker on the dry tires. So we'll see. We'll see.
And it's something a little erratic when it comes to wet weather in this game. That is
Yeah.
one thing that I have noticed.
It's like it'll be raining. It'll stop raining, but still be on. You'll still be on the wet tires for like 10 laps.
That was Monaco. That was absolutely Monaco. Of course, it's also just the nature of Monaco. You would think a street circuit would be able to drain water relatively quickly, but like experiencing Tier 5, driving it, I was genuinely infuriated beyond belief. And a couple others on similar strategy were with me were thinking, okay, the rain has stopped. Okay, so the track's gonna dry, right? The track is gonna dry, right? Why isn't it drying? And like, I was infuriated.
Yeah, or it'll be completely wet 1 lap, and then you'll finish the sector, and then it'll be completely dry.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's track by track, but also this game is a little whack when it comes to it. Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, one track where it just dries out in an instant. What's a good example of that? I'm trying to think.
Oh, it's getting dark.
Oh yeah, we were here 2 laps ago. Pretty beautiful weather, actually. Just a couple clouds here and there. Then before, a little overcast. And now, there is no sunlight left. None. It's gonna be raining in the next lap or two.
It already is raining.
There's no way. You're right. It's raining. It's raining already. These drivers are gonna be immediately diving into the pits for inters.
All this weaving from JT, he's probably already put like 7% wear on these softs. Stop weaving, please.
I must weave. It must be done.
He's weaving. He's just putting extra. There's no need to hold the brake and hold the gas at the same exact time, and your tires will be warmer than weaving would ever get you.
Yeah,
it's a life lesson for the next 2 months before the next game comes out.
Yeah. Actually, okay, it's barely sprinkling right now. They could do a lap on slicks and get away with it. They could get away with it, but let's see if anyone's gonna pit early, because I think now might be a little too early. They could go 1 lap and then be fine.
But yeah, the way it's raining, it's not gonna be wet tires. The guys in the back though might benefit because it might be questionable towards the front. Yeah, look at JT, just has so much grip.
Yep, Angry Shadow is gonna go into the pits. Chosen Toby as well. Cobb inching his way to the pits as well. I think you were like right on the money on that one. Seems all of them are going to be going for intermediate tires.
Yep,
you're right on that. Meanwhile, let's catch up with the front runners. Oh, we have a little bit of a battle going on here. Jim and Omarmo going wheel to wheel. Omarmo seems to be running a little lower downforce, I think. Either that or he's burning a lot of battery.
Exact same KPH right now.
Oh, here we go. Late braking from Omarmo. Brilliant overtake. Makes his way up into P4.
JT's going to try and get an eat off. He's going to go down the inside, I think, into this corner.
There's no way he's going to dive here. He's out of his mind! JT just has no fear when it comes to overtaking. It's absolutely nuts. I mean, yeah, even then, they still barged into each other.
The inside and poo on. Okay, I was thinking he was going to.
That was Benzo slipping a little bit. JT, like, he barely taps the back of Omarmo, a little bit too eager for his own good. I mean, we saw JT's over-aggressive, overtaking antics. Go gets disqualified! What? Oh my god.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if these guys are going to pit up front.
JT's going for another move. He gets ahead of Omarmo. He's going to try and sneak past Benzo as well around the outside. Benzo's not giving him much room. JT's now going on the inside. Now on the outside as we head to the bus stop chicane. Brilliant overtake from JT as he now makes his way into third. They're continuing to stay out. Benzo decides to pit for intermediate tires. And you can see
such a good call.
I agree. I think that's a better call. I think it's going to be an absolute torrent to try and drive through this circuit at this point. I think they all made a poor call.
I do like JT staying out, though. These soft tires are still going to be the best tire. They're fresh, they are quick, and they're going to be warm. The worn-in mediums, they're not going to be worn. They've already done about probably 5 laps of racing on them. They're going to be close to that 20% mark. I think this is a good call from JT, especially if these guys start battling here. And Angry Shadow, look how many places he just gained from pitting under the safety car there.
Yeah,
he's gonna have warm inters too. These guys are gonna come out on cold tires. They're gonna be hard to control. They're not gonna have as much grip. And I think Pouon's still, or Eau Rouge and Radion's still gonna be flat out here. He lifts off a little bit.
Oh, Angry Shadow just had a much better run. Look at the speed difference he's got on John. He flies past and is now up into P9. Angry Shadow, like you said, brilliant call from him to just go ahead and pit, because those tires are all fired up, and so is he right now.
This qualified car is driving around the circuit at like 30 miles an hour, and it's just causing yellow flags. Oh, he's going to be on the apex. Oh my goodness.
He almost loses the car, and yeah, this is it. It's time to pit for inters. You can see Bouncy struggling with the car. Yeah. JT is still just fine, though. And he's looking for a move on the outside. Oh, no opening is available right now. JT looking for an opening, but Bouncy's making the Alpine really wide right now. It's going to be close. Is JT going to go for a dive? There's no way he's going to do that. In the wet weather. Okay, he doesn't. Ooh.
I'll break him. So Bouncy's not. He's going to try and pit, and he's going to. Oh yeah. Oh, he just cut the entire pit.
JT was just trying to battle that entire time, even into the pit lane. He smashes the sign for good measure. But... Ooh.
So Bouncy just cut the entire pit lane white line. Said, I'm going to ignore track limits. He's already taken like 4 or 5 warnings, I'm guessing. Yeah, I mean, okay, keep the... I feel like that will be reported from JT because he kept the position by cutting the track there, so...
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Something to look at. Angry Shadow is up into P6 or P7. He's gonna beat JT on the exit here, and he's gonna have more grip than Omarmo. I think, did JT fix a wing? Why did he drop so much? I think he did.
He must have. Right now, Jake and Bouncy have a pretty clear lead. Benzo, though, is catching up. Alpine on their way to a brilliant result. Meanwhile, Omarmo is faring quite well for himself, but he does have Angry Shadow. Well, I would say he was chasing, but now JT dies on the inside, gets past, and now he's on the hunt after Omarmo. And you can see JT's just really cruising along with these intermediate tires, so these drivers have got to really do well with their grip levels. And according to the drivers, it's going to get so bad it's going to transition to full wet tires. So once again, these drivers are going to have to nail their pit stops. Because if they go in a little too early or too late, it could mean a lot of time lost.
And one thing you may see here is the controller players, get elevated, because driving in the wet on controller is a big advantage just because you can feel the grip that you have in your hands. So you could see some of the controller players, I know Angry Shadow, JT are on controllers, so you could see them just unlock a plethora of pace over these guys. And Jake Laser's already dropped Bouncy by a second, so he's doing well there.
Yeah, I genuinely don't know the difference between wheel and controller when it comes to wet weather. Although at some circuits, I know the controller seems to fare a little bit better, and others, like Monaco, for example, the wheel is way better.
Yep, so low grip circuits are always going to be better for controller, because controller you just have better grip because you can feel like the traction in your hands and your fingers, so you know when the car is fully planted. So you're always going to be able to get on traction sooner. As someone who just crossed over from controller and to wheel, yeah, it's a huge difference in some things.
Yeah,
and Zoso.
I'm considering doing wheel, but I don't have the time. I do not have the time to do all of
Fair
that.
enough.
Like, besides, I've already like burnt enough money as of recently. I'm going to the Indy 500 later this year. And then I also am going to this insane event called Louder Than Life, 4 days, and it's basically got the ultimate rock, alternative rock, punk lineup of all time. Let's see here, it's got The Offspring, Sum 41, Disturbed, Evanescence, Sleeping with Sirens, Motley Crue, Korn, um, Never, no, wait, Falling in Reverse as well, and like several others. And that's just like that's not even like half the full lineup. It's absolutely
JT
insane.
just went down the inside
Yeah,
like
he
a
did.
poo on
He
in the
did.
wet.
Yeah, I mean, I think we already clearly established at Saudi last week that when it comes to overtaking, JT is just needs to be put in a straitjacket when it comes to that kind of stuff. He just has absolutely no fear or concern. He just sends it. And I appreciate it because it gives us some brilliant overtakes, but, you know, it's only a matter of time before the F around to find out ratio goes a little bit too far. You know, the JT hasn't
Bouncy.
crossed it just yet, though. You're saying?
No, we have Bouncy and Jake, just pulling away from everyone else. Seeming to be in a class of their own. I mean, I think JT might be around that class if he didn't break his front wing there. But, I'm glad that he did because he can just provide more overtakes for us.
Yeah, JT on the hunt after Jim. A lot of them low on ERS at the current moment. No surprise there because, I mean, you need to ration your ERS super carefully in wet weather at a circuit like this. Because that power could mean a huge difference later on. And so for those who don't manage their battery well, it's going to hurt them massively. Meanwhile, it looks like we're going to see a battle here. Actually, we're already seeing one between JT and Jim. Who's going to break later between the Aston Martin and Alfa Romeo? JT outbreaks him just a little bit more. And JT gets ahead into P4.
Yep. JT into just some clean air. Let's see how he does compare to the rest of the field. Angry Shadow, John does work. I thought he would have been close enough to go into the Lacombe chicane, but he didn't. He wasn't. So, yeah, Angry Shadow still reaping the benefits off a fantastic strategy call under the safety car to get a big undercut there.
Yeah.
And
JT is flying under clear air now. He's already put over a second between himself and Jim and has cut down that 2.5 second gap to almost, well, to under 2 seconds very quickly to Benzo. And you can see Benzo's keeping relatively even with his teammate. So, and the fact that JT is catching up like he is, I think he's got more pace than the top two. He's just got to huff it.
yeah, Benzo, I think, dropped a second this lap to the top group from where I was looking at. So JT, yeah, I think his live delta to Bouncy and Jake has been pretty similar. So I think we'll see he might be a little bit quicker. So we'll see a good race to the end. Maybe if we get one more safety car. But also, I don't know what this weather is going to do. If it's going to go to full wets, if they're going to if it's going to be worth it to fit onto full wets, and then if it's going to go back to dry tires.
Yeah, the what?
Benzo just
Oh, you were saying?
more time. Benzo just lost almost another second.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's brutal. He's just not enjoying the weather here. He did make a right call to pit when he did. Oh, something's happened. Oh, looks like
Midnight.
And Midnight spins out, and he's right on the racing line. It readjusts, and now Tolby gets past. Tolby gets another free overtake as he makes his way up into P12. Meanwhile, JT and Benzo are going to go wheel to wheel. JT halfway alongside. How late is he going to break here as we go into the corner? They're still side by side. JT appears to have some superior grip, but they're still even. No longer, though. JT gets ahead. He's up to P3, and now he has a 7-second gap between himself and second place. Now he can really see if he'll be able to cut that gap down and potentially catch up.
The big test to see his pace compared to those top two. Looking to be pretty even right now. It's a couple tenths here and there between them, just through these couple corners that we've seen him be in clean air. He's got to get used to driving in clean air. He hasn't done a lot of it. Jim with the 3, I think second one, and I think we're going to see some more with the rain. He's got a Marmo on the back of him, looking just everywhere you can to make a move. It's tough to make a move in the wet around here if you don't have a good run out of the first corner, and the first corner is it's tough. It's tricky in the wet, because there's a big bump there. It's heavy braking, and you're trying to get on the power as soon as possible because it's a necessity to get overtakes done. Oh my god, John is just pushing Angry Shadow around like a shopping cart.
John is tired of seeing the rear wing of that McLaren. He wants to get past, but Angry Shadow, props to him, he's putting up a mega defense right now to keep John behind.
Yeah.
John he can't find an opening. And Angry, meanwhile, is just making that rear wing as wide as he possibly can, holding off not just John, but also Normbash in all of this.
Might be looking to make a move here is Omarmo, who is just right behind Jim. Been 3/10 behind him for the last 2 laps, and I think he got a good exit here out of Los Sauce. He gets a better exit than Jim, and he's just going to slipstream all the way up through Radion, over Rouge, down the Kemmel straight, into Lacombe. It's going to be easy for him. If he gets a good corner here, he does. He's going to get a massive slingshot. The slipstream up this is just... You can't do anything about it. It's just so strong. It's so powerful.
Yeah, the question is, will he be able to get himself fully alongside by the time we get to this corner? Late braking for Omarmo, but he taps Jim. Oh no!
Angry Shadow, how did you not see that?
Angry Shadow literally just plowed it straight into Jim. Oh my god.
How did you not know?
Oh man, honestly, in that moment, I definitely have to give fault to Omarmo for that one, because drive-through penalties! Oh my god! Oh, I can only imagine after that drive-through penalty, Jim is just simply saying karma.
Yeah, and Jim only lost 1 spot. But,
man.
Normbash is giving people...
Why?
Don't know.
Why?
Maybe he got illegal overtakes.
Maybe. That's actually... I think you're right on that, 100%. But, yeah, Omarmo, I mean, Jim gave him a lot of space. Jim kept his line consistent through that corner. Omarmo went in even further on the inside of that corner and just tapped Jim. So, honestly, again, I'm no steward, and I do not claim to be one. But, from my experience and my perspective, I put that on Omarmo. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm guessing he thought Jim was going to back out. He might have, I don't know. Jake also, okay. While I'm saying that, Jake just threw away his whole race, getting a 5-second under the safety car.
Oh my god. Well, they're pitting now, and I think now, is it wet weather?
No, they just want fresh inners because inners wear super quick.
Yeah, that's true.
In this game, inners just wear really quick.
That's really...
so fast.
That's really true. You're right about the interwear. The thing is, I never noticed until you just now pointed out. I always thought, there's something off with these inters, and I don't know what it is. And now that you explained it, I feel really stupid.
The wear on them is honestly incredible. Same with the wet tires, the rears wear super quickly.
Okay, the rears I do know about. That experience sucked. Oh my god. Oh, yeah, the rears seem to just, want to perish very quickly on both inters and wets. That is one thing that I did notice, is that the rears in particular just had a hard time of it. Rada Ace chose to stay out, which, it's
gonna hurt him.
I disagree with that call.
What, Coob? I don't understand people's thought process, because you're not gonna be nearly as fast as these guys are gonna be seconds a lap faster than you. One, just off pure race pace. If you guys had the same everything, they just have been quicker this race, and that's a thing. They're also on 6-lap fresher inners, which is gonna be over a second a lap in Delta. And you're probably going to get in an incident trying to defend someone who's trying to overtake you in not a good spot. You're just going to lose race time and battery trying to defend. And I don't know why he's weaving so aggressively right now, but it's just not a good call. Especially under a safety car where you're going to get a lot. Yeah, everyone's going to be right there.
Yeah, Hike asking, how did Jim survive? I genuinely don't know. By all accounts, he should have just absolutely perished the moment Angry Shadow smashed into him. Miraculously, Jim lived. I don't know how.
Because his contact.
Yeah, I mean, he's literally the embodiment of that scene from Monty Python where the guy gets his arm chopped off. And he's like, "It's just a flesh wound."
Yeah.
That's literally what happened to Jim there. I'm still amazed that he is able to drive around at all because that left tire, front left, should be absolutely gone. What? Oh, JT got ahead of Great Ace, and JT let Great Ace back ahead so you can get a penalty for it. Okay, that makes more sense. One thing that's interesting, though, now, JT is going to be right behind Bouncy and Jake, with the exception of, Great Ace in between. So I expect with JT's pace and Great Ace's worn tires, it'll be a pretty cut and dry overtake for the Aston Martin driver. It'll be interesting to see if those three will be able to pull it off. JT said that his AI passed him. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense because Great Ace has been backing off and weaving a lot, like really slowly. So he would lose the 10 car length gap. So it would be like, oh, he's going too slow past him. That makes sense. Great Ace still is just the way he's been weaving, and I mean, he's just putting more wear on tires that already have a lot more wear than everyone else. So I really don't.
Yeah.
And the entire field is on new tires.
Yeah, exactly. Like Great Ace, he's gonna start up here, and then he's just gonna absolutely drown. Like, it's gonna be brutal.
If I was these two in the back, I would have pit onto either fresh inners or
right?
Because it
what do you have to lose? Nothing.
Yeah, and it would have just. It's just you're at the back, so the safety car's still not going to come in because the safety car's super slow around here. And you would have been on fresher tires, and I think it's wet weather, so they could.
Oh yeah, you're right. You were right. This weather has gotten worse. 100%.
Which only makes Great Ace's decision even less smart.
Well, actually, if he decides to put now for full wide, it's not the worst call. Because then he has a fresh set of inters.
If he pits now, then. But the safety car's coming in this lap, so he'll just be like 15 seconds behind everyone.
Oh yeah, but I mean, this weather it's too severe. They gotta go for wets.
They'll be on the inters because the inter to wet delta isn't going to be too big right now. But,
yeah, I mean, still, if I were Great Ace, I might as well just bite the bullet and go.
Yeah, if you're Great Ace, you got to try something because you're going to fall.
Yeah, either way, you're going to be losing a ton of positions. You might as well lose a ton of positions while achieving something productive.
And now JT needs to be the most cautious person in the world in overtaking Great Ace because Jake Laser has a 5-second penalty and Bouncy has 3, and I'm guessing there's going to be
JT. From what I've seen him drive, like asking him to be cautious is just like asking him to remove his hand. Like, no, it's not in JT's nature. He's a really aggressive driver who. He enjoys battling and overtaking. I think that's definitely
JT,
clear.
I know you're listening right now. Just be smart. I don't want to see nothing down the inside of Puan when you're overtaking for the net race lead. Give me a little wiggle right now to hear you understand me. Thank you. Thank you.
Would that be considered race engineering by the commentator?
No. That was not race engineering. And if it was, I wouldn't do it for an Aston Martin.
Fair.
Speaking of JT, he had a terrible restart. That might have been my fault, but we're not going to put the blame on me. It's all JT's fault for that.
I agree.
So, yeah, Jake Laser, and I mean, he did what he needed to do, but JT, maybe he's just giving himself clean air. He doesn't want to be right behind this Ferrari because that happened. So, yeah, JT just needs to get this move done. These two are going to battle because Jake Laser's going to want to defend, Bounce is going to want to overtake, the whole shebang. So JT just needs to stay safe, stay calm, and he'll get this win so far.
No, it's too far back right now for Bouncy to attempt to move. Meanwhile, look at this spray right now. You can barely see the Ferrari ahead on board JT. So the weather is extremely severe. And wait, what? Why are both Hasses so far back now?
I think they.
What?
What did they do?
What did they do? What?
Guys, what did they do?
What did they do?
What did they do? No, JT, come on. You don't have to go around the outside and no name corner.
Hey man, I don't want you to do anything crazy. All right, bet I'm gonna do something crazy.
I mean, maybe Great Ace had a moment or something. I mean, wow.
I mean,
Great overtake.
JT, when it comes to overtaking, he basically embodies the concept of F it, we ball. Like, he just goes. And I now, again, like, it's worked. And credit where credit is due. It has worked, but I haven't...
And it was safe. I think Great Ace probably had a big snap on the exit through the right-hander because it's so tricky in the wet to keep that car straight through that corner. But yeah, Great Ace is just going to come into the jaws of the midfield, and he's going to get eaten up.
Yeah, I mean, like, looking at the weather, I mean, I think now is a good time to go for wets. Like, this track...
I could definitely see someone at the back gamble for wets here.
Yeah. Oh, hang on a second. Looks like we have a battle between Great Ace and Benzo right now. Benzo looking on the outside towards turn 1. Is Great Ace going to come him off? He does a little bit, but can Benzo get the better exit? Ooh, yes, he will. Great Ace goes wide, and then allows a double overtake due to Great Ace's error, because not only Benzo, but John gets ahead as well. Jim isn't too far behind, but he has a penalty to deal with. Great Ace has also just not used much battery at all for some reason. Now he is, and
back up
he's
Benzo,
closing in.
Both of them using battery. The slipstream not powerful enough to bring that.
Jim is going for a move on the inside of Great Ace. Blade breaking going into the corner. Jim makes it work this time around as Great Ace gets a little bit loose. This is going to allow Toby to potentially go for a move as well. And yeah, like you said, Great Ace just getting absolutely swallowed up. This was a poor call from him. And at this rate, he's going to drop all the way out of the points places.
Yeah, Bouncy is still staying with Jake like he needs to. He has to be within 2 seconds of him to the end of this race to have a chance. And I don't think we're going to come off the inters.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's too late at this point.
And speaking of...
Norbash. Oh, he's lost a front wing left end plate for that, too. That is just brutal. One Haas gets ahead, and now Nathan is slowly gaining as well, but still. Like, what happened to the Haas's? Could someone in chat please tell us what happened to the Haas drivers? Why did they just suddenly drop back so heavily?
I have no idea. Like genuinely, they were 14 seconds. Oh, JT got kicked.
Uh-oh. Well,
let me try and get him back in.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Because AI is so slow. He's going to lose so much time for that. It's just brutal for him. Meanwhile, John is chasing after Benzo.
And the AI is going to use 30% battery too. The AI uses so much battery for no reason. Alright, he's back.
Yeah, but already, Benzo has cut down that gap by a second because of it. So...
Yeah. And now he's got to pray to whatever he prays to that Bouncy and Jake battle. Yeah, I don't think they will. Jake,
what's the penalties looking like? Well, at this rate, looks like Bouncy has got this. Meanwhile, John gets ahead of Benzo, and now could get P4 here. Benzo's going to try and break late here as we go into this corner. Benzo trying to keep alongside. He simply cannot do it. John gets ahead and is now 4th place.
Sliding and drifting all over the place. I don't know how. Yeah, he should be getting swallowed up right now. Tolby looking to make a move here. Not really close enough. Midnight right behind the back of Tolby. PNW bum not too far behind. So again right behind him. And Great Ace is just he's driving a train by himself. We're going to see another move down the inside of Puan. No, thank God. I was getting scared there because Tolby had a good run through a no-name that actually has a name now. Into Puan, through the chicane that I don't know.
Well, what's the name? What's the no-name called now?
I don't know. I'm going to look it up, right now. No-name. I'm sorry if I butcher the pronunciation.
Please do. Oh, Tolby's getting a much better run this time. Why is he not using any battery? Use some battery, please. Tolby's just not using battery. He could have cleared Great Ace a while ago. But he's just simply not using any battery to make this move happen. Oh, now Tolby's using some battery. And honestly, he could beat out Great Ace into turn 1. Late braking from Toby as he makes his way in. They get a little bit close, but yeah, Toby just too far back to actually complete the move as Great Ace gets a better exit. Because Toby, please use some battery. And then that way you can pull this move. You have almost 100%. Just dump it.
It's the Jackie X corner. Don't know why. Don't know how.
Don't know who.
Speaker corner. Yeah, that was another name too.
Yeah, there we go. Right Toby getting alongside. Can he get ahead as we make his way through? And yes, he finally pulls it off. He's up to P7 and can go on his merry way. And honestly, that was a good time to get an overtake because now Grady's going to lose a lot of time through Sector 2 due to that tire wear, and he's going to be holding back the rest of those drivers.
Well, definitely going to be kicking in now. Like, he's just so slow compared to Midnight. Midnight had to adjust his line, and he went off track because he thought he was going to hit him. Yeah, he's just going to be so slow through this middle sector now. Look at the grip Midnight has compared to him, just gaining through Puan. He has a snap through Puan. He has another snap because he gets on the curve. He's going to go down the inside of the Fong chicane. I remember the name just because I looked at it. And yeah, he's going to just lose more and more time. P&W Bum's going to come on the back of it.
Oh, yeah. Great Ace, I mean, he's going to drop out of the points. And again, this just goes to show he had a very poor strategy call to try and stay out on these tires.
Through Campos, down Stavilo. He's going to get a much better run down the Blanchimont. And I think he's going to get this move down to the bus up chicane. P&W Bum on the battery in the slipstream. Slipstream is so powerful just because you're turning and it's punching a bigger hole through the air. But no, Great Ace stays on the battery, keeps it flat out through Blanchimont, and he's going to stay ahead for one more lap down to the final lap here, I think. Or no,
no, penultimate lap, so there's still one more. And that is Omarmo trying to make a move around the outside, and it's just, oh, wait. I know why they have drive-through. They had drive-through penalties. Omarmo and Nathan had to serve penalties. That's why.
Oh my goodness, that was.
Omarmo got way too greedy.
Put him on skates.
Yeah, Omarmo got way too greedy there. That was a little too desperate there. Bum did a great job baiting him like that, though.
That was desperate, but man, that was dirty from Bum. Oh, he put the skates on him. I clipped that for Bum. I'm going to put that for the McLaren team chat.
He broke Omarmo's ankles right there. Just yikes.
And Omarmo, again, he's getting desperate for points. But if he's just patient, they're going to overtake Great Ace.
Well, yeah. I mean, Omarmo, I have a feeling, is already going to be getting a post-race penalty for that incident with Jim. So he's going to have to push himself even harder if he wants to get points. And now looking potentially on the outside of Bum, he thought he saw an opening, but it closed very quickly, and he just can't find a way past this McLaren.
Glazer's just driven away in the wet. Oh, spin of Zoso. I think it's his 4th or 5th one today. We've seen a lot of spins. Surprisingly, only one full.
Oh, wait. Zoso is beached. He's beached. He can't move. He's beached! He beached himself! He can't move!
Come on.
Oh, wait. He's almost got it. He's almost got it. He's stuck again. Oh, wait. No. He's got it. He's clear. Nice.
Everyone clap it up for Zoso. Yeah, I'm still surprised Great Ace or P&W Bum has not gained it.
Omarmo just absolutely smashes into the back of Bum.
Oh, that is disgusting.
Oh my god.
And I just turned on the Normbash spinning.
Yeah, like, Omarmo just, again, he was too desperate. He broke way too late and just collided into the back of him.
And I think that Bum was on pace to score his first points, too.
That's unfortunate for him. Bum literally just got a points finish taken away from him like that.
Yeah, that was poor. That was bad to look at. Oh,
yeah, Omarmo is going to get some severe penalties after this race.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if how many penalty points does he have already?
I don't know. I think he's already got a couple.
Yeah, so he already has 5.
So okay, so he's going to get a quali ban next race.
Well, yeah, he's already served a quali ban. That's what I was trying to say. He already has 5, and that was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, so. Okay. Yeah, in that case,
So,
isn't he close to how many is it total race ban? 10?
and something like that.
And yeah, if so, if he gets 2 penalty points for both incidents, he's close. All it
Yeah,
would
I
take
mean
is one
that
more
was.
pen.
I don't know. The one with Jim wasn't too bad. Like I
Yeah,
mean, the tough corner and all that.
I do agree, but I mean, like, if I did have to place anyone at fault, it would be
Yeah, yeah.
Omarmo.
That was
Uh,
like a thing that happens in racing. Yeah,
right,
Omar's fault,
yeah,
but that happens. What
yeah,
he just did to the bum was outrageous.
yeah. I do
That
agree with you on
was.
that. Jake gets another time. Wait, oh wait, no, that's for the 5-second penalty for before. Never mind, it
He
doesn't
just
matter.
dominated.
Yeah, brilliant performance from him. Bounty takes second. JT's going to take third. John, another top 5 finish for him as he crosses the line. Jim, unfortunately, is going to drop out of the top 5, but it doesn't matter. He already secured the championship. Benzo will be taking P5. Holby, P7. As Midnight, Great Ace, and Nathan will be the ones to finish in the points. Bum, unfortunately, got ruined from his first points finish. Omarmo will be finishing P12, as Normbash and Zoso are a significant ways back.
Yeah, I stand a little corrected. I don't think it was Mum's first points finish, but he was. I think he was at the back of the field, and he was going to have a really good drive for some points today.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
scored points, and he finished fourth.
He finished fourth
last week.
Oh, wow.
Do not remember that.
I did not
Maybe
remember.
I was distracted.
We were.
Yeah, because there was that big incident.
Yeah.
Like 2 laps, and probably.
Well, Saudi in general was just like there was so much going on. It was a lot.
No,
Honestly, yeah. Honestly, that reminds me of the NA Saudi race. That race for no assists, like the first 7 laps, non-stop action. It literally did not stop. I felt like I was gonna pass out because I had to commentate on every event occurring at once. Like there were a couple times where I just had to go because I was like I just ran out of breath. And
I used to know the Renegade dance, and if I remembered it, I would do it right now.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't remember it.
And my breathing is actually like I have really good breathing abilities, I guess you could say, because well, I'm a musician, and so I had to get really good at breathing in order to be able to play for long periods of time. So, you know, that really translated really well into commentating. So I was able to do that. But even for that, I was just like, I'm dying here. But great race from Jake. That was just absolute dominance right there. Comfortable victory. Quite easy for him. Do you think he'll be pushed forward into Tier 4?
I do. I mean, it's gonna be. I think they're just doing it based off.
Pace?
Yeah, well, I think they're just doing it off the championship standings because no one knows what the pace is gonna be for next year,
True.
next
A
game.
lot of unknowns going into the next game. That's very true.
Yeah, so that's tier 3. Let me look at tier 5 standings. He is top 3 right now, and he just won, so he's gonna jump Toast, who wasn't here today. So yeah, I mean, I think he'll be in tier 4. He just doesn't have. If he just doesn't collapse for this in Australia, he should be tier 4. So we'll see. Provisionally, Bouncy and Jake Laser will. Bouncy and Jake, yeah. Jake will move into P2 in the championship. Bouncy into P3. John just getting close up to that top 3 too with a good P4 today. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good race. There's a few iffy moments, but pretty good race. Jake Laser absolutely dominated. So,
Hey, 100%. Are we gonna get anyone in here for interviews or?
well, no one's asked about him yet, so I can re-ask him. Let me just. I know Jake doesn't usually do them. Who was it? Bouncy. And who was third? JT.
Yeah, JT.
Yeah, just hop in the oh. Hello. Jake? Yep, first one.
Hello, yeah, I'll wait for anyone else to get in.
Okay, we'll get you first. Probably because you won, if you want to go ahead with that, Mark Mage, and I'll
Yeah.
just see if anyone else wants to get in.
Absolutely brilliant performance from you. You honestly had a quite an easy race for yourself. Didn't really have too much competition in the way. Pretty dominant overall. I'm pretty sure that was what was that, a Grand Slam? I want to say that was.
I did not get past this lap, but yeah, appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, I mean you were close still. Fantastic pace. You looked cool, calm, and collected. And Dreams and I were speculating that you may find yourself being bumped up to Tier 4 at this rate.
Yeah, no, it's a great race, great sequence of races. To finish first 3 in a row is something I never thought I'd be capable of. So just
Oh wait, this is your third victory in a row?
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, I
Unfortunately,
you're probably gonna be bumped up.
I wish it was my fourth. I had a lapped car incident take me out of the lead at Hungary track
Oh,
before that, but I'll bite my tongue. Yeah, no, appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys doing commentary. It's been a fun first season in Tier 5. I wish I was in Tier 4 with my buddy Mr. Camus, but this is where I was drafted, and
well, you might be
I had a
joining
slow
him in Tier
start.
4 next year.
Yeah,
No, no,
I had
no,
a
not
slow
next year,
start to the
next game.
season. Just not my best effort, unfortunately. But I'm glad to prove to not only the league but myself that I want to go up a tier. So we'll see what happens next season.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where I'll be commentating next season, but it's been good. You've been, yeah, I mean, the slow start to the season, but yeah, the last few weeks you've just been. I mean, I think you've been on pole like 3 or 4 times, and you've always been in the fight for the win. So it's been a great end of the season. And you got one more spot. How you feeling for Australia? I know some people love it. A lot of people hate it. How are you feeling for
Yeah,
that
it's a
track?
sketch track. I really loved how we've lined it up with the actual Formula One season. I think it's another track where to put it on pole, you need to really nail every corner and ride the curbs the right way. But in terms of a race, turn one is always ugly. So the more I can just stay out of the mess of the pack, like the better chance I'll have. And
I,
it's pretty much been my goal for Tier 5 from the
yeah,
advice I've been given.
I will actually disagree with you on one point. Nothing bad has ever happened at Turn 1 in Australia. Ever. Especially not last year.
Maybe I shouldn't review the footage then. I do want to commend Tier 5 in general, though, for all the side-by-side racing I've had. Compared to all the other leagues that I've raced in this year, it's been a great experience. It's been a learning curve for me with some of the rules, as you guys noticed last week with my overtake under safety car and other things. But I've really thoroughly enjoyed this league, and I'm excited to keep racing in it.
Yeah, I think. I mean, that's pretty much all we have for you today.
Yeah,
You didn't really do much with anyone else today. You kind of just
yeah. I mean, you had
Bounty was there for a little bit.
yeah. I mean, you had a quiet, successful race. I mean, and really, sometimes that's just all you can really ask for. So
Yeah,
all worked
I
out
decided to
brilliantly
speed
for
it to
you.
the pits like a nincompoop, but it worked out in the end. So thank you guys.
All right.
Appreciate the commentary.
All right, thanks for your time.
Take care.
I've seen 90% of these people in this tier gets 5 seconds under safety car. You're not the only one this season, and
I
you won't
didn't.
be the last one this season.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Take care,
All
guys.
right. Yep.
All right, let's
And
get
I will
bounce
get
bouncy.
up.
Okay, bouncy,
So
can you hear
bouncy.
us? You're muted, by the way.
Hi guys, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
So, brilliant race you had. Second place. Unfortunately, you weren't able to keep up with Jake, but you were able to keep everybody else behind by a good distance. So, for a good portion of the race, you were just kind of in a no man's land despite that. I mean, P2 is a P2. Can't really complain about that. Still. So, how do you feel with that result?
Feel kind of disappointed that I couldn't keep up with Jake, but a P2 is a P2, like you said. The rain was absolutely horrendous towards the end. It was impossible to keep it on track.
Oh, yeah, it definitely
Are
seemed like it
we?
was wet weather. We were speculating about that.
Some people said it was going to go back to dry, but I didn't really think it was. But yeah, how are the inters and the full wets? Like, I know probably Mark was saying that the full wets were quicker, but how did the inters feel? Were they like, was it undrivable, or was it just like there was no point in pitting? You needed to stick it out.
I didn't really think there was much of a point of pitting, but once it really got past that crossover, it started to get quite slippery, so it was kind of difficult.
Yeah. And then, okay, I do need to add. You got a 3-second. All right. It was at a lap and a half. What was there some incidents you had to avoid to get rid of the 3-second or get the warnings? Or did you get 2 warnings? 'Cause I saw you got 2 warnings on the first lap.
I got 2 warnings in one corner because I got
Okay.
squeezed, but I don't really care.
That makes more sense. Okay, I was
Okay.
it's hard to do that, but
Yeah.
but you had a fantastic race. I mean, kept it clean. You started close to the front row. I don't remember if you did or not, but yeah, just consolidated P2. We're able to stay pretty close to Jake until that last safety car, but P2 with a 3-second time penalty, it's pretty much take what you can ask for.
Yep.
Then you are going to be third in the driver standings. You're going to stay third, but you'll be jumping someone. Is there a real big rush to get into tier 4? Stay within that top 3, get out of tier 5?
I've been in tier 5 since season 7, so I think I kind of want a change of pace, but I don't know if I'm ready for tier 4 next season, but if I do get moved up, we'll see.
Yeah. So good luck to you in Australia. Also, just want to get your thoughts about what you think. I don't know how good of a controller track it is. I don't know. I don't remember if you're on controller or not.
Someone who's driven on it with a controller, I don't think controller is right.
It's kind of horrendous on controller.
Yeah.
That last corner is pain.
The last corner sucks, but also like so many of the corners when you go through it, the car just I don't know how to describe it. You just don't feel like the car wants to be under you. I think that's a decent way.
Feels like it kind of lifts off.
Yeah,
Doesn't really
absolutely. It definitely feels like the car just like out of nowhere is just like 5 feet up in the air, and you just have like no grip whatsoever.
Yeah, it's a difficult track on controller.
All right. Well, good luck to you next week, and hope you can stay in that top 3. I think you're pretty close. I think Toast would need like a win, and then you to not have a good race at all. So hopefully you can keep that P3, maybe move up to P2. So yeah, congratulations on the podium today, and hope you can get one next week.
Thanks.
All right.
Get a JT in here.
Yep. Okay, JT, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay, so you had a tough one of it throughout the race. I had to deal with a lot of battling, a lot of daring overtakes from you as well. Still, you managed to secure P3. Unfortunately, pace wasn't there to get yourself all the way up to P2 or P1. Still, great podium, great result. So, how do you feel with that?
I blame not winning the race on dreams.
Whoa. Ooh. I wasn't the reason you had to. I said a wiggle. I didn't say weave.
Well,
I wasn't the reason you had to change your front wing at the second safety car, but.
Well, we had an extra safety car, so that really didn't matter.
But yeah, you had a fantastic race. I mean, some of the overtakes I saw, I was clenching over here. They were pretty crazy.
What?
I mean, my entire
They might
body.
be crazy, but I mean, I knew I could make it work, so.
Yeah, I mean, down the inside of Puan, round the outside of Speaker's Corner. I mean, just some of them were great. They were fantastic overtakes, fun to watch. I mean, back-to-back races that you've kind of just done something different than everyone else, and it's worked out, and you've just made some good things to commentate over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for providing us with a lot of action in that regard. So, any plans or strategies going into Australia next?
Secure the championship for SMRN.
Oh yeah. What place are you in the driver's seat?
Low.
Oh yeah.
I think he meant the overall team standings.
Yeah, overall, yeah.
Oh no, I meant the driver's standing.
Oh, I'm like 10th, I think.
Wait.
12th.
Wait, am I higher than you? There's no way I'm higher than you.
Yeah, yep, you are.
Oh my god.
I mean, you won't be after today.
I won't be, no. Honestly, where I am in the championship, I still question how I got 3 top 5 finishes. I literally just how did I get here? But JT, I know exactly how you got the great result today. brilliant pace, brilliant overtakes. Like, I think JT is going to be a force to be reckoned with going to Tier 5 next year. Should he continue to remain?
Yeah, and then
Hopefully.
just I'm gonna ask everyone how you feel in Australia. It's an interesting season ender. I mean, it lines up with the real F1 race. But
Yeah.
just, are you looking forward to the track at all? I don't know. Like I said, some people love it, some people hate it. Just how you feeling about Australia?
I'm hoping I can get a podium. That's all that really matters to me, but I really don't like Australia.
Yeah, me neither.
But
The blood is always rushing to my
I won't
head there.
practice, but we'll see.
Well, you had an amazing race today. I mean, you're just doing everything different, but it worked out for you in the end. I'm sorry that you I told you to wiggle a little bit, but I mean,
Don't be
it was good
sorry.
for the
All your
comms.
fault.
I agree.
But yeah, you had a fantastic race, and thank you for the entertainment today.
You're welcome. You'll see some next week.
Oh, we like to hear that. Love to hear that.
All right, yeah, thanks for your time.
Thank you for yours.
So that was a thrilling race overall. Plenty of action, a little bit of drama here and there. Dynamic weather, of course, always makes things interesting. It's quite uncommon. Do you speculate any rain in Australia?
I don't think it's too uncommon. It's definitely not. It's definitely not Spa or Brazil, but
Right.
I don't. I mean, I think if we saw rain, it would be. Yeah, it wouldn't be fun, but for them, it would be really fun
It
for
would be
us.
great from an entertainment perspective, absolutely.
But no, I don't think
Yeah.
there will be rain.
Yeah, like I said, so I mean, you have experience with Australia on wheel now. And I've experience with it on controller. So, from your perspective on wheel, how is it?
Yeah, it's a really fun track. It's really fast. It's all the corners flow really well, but for like time trial, like trying to go as fast as you can, I hate it. The curbs are super touch and
Wonky.
go.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
really RNGs. Sometimes you'll take a curb one way and it'll just yeah. So, but it's a really fun track. Sector 3, Sector 2 is like I think you're only in below fifth gear like twice. So it's super fun, super fast, and I think it's really good for racing with 4 DRS zones, which is
Oh,
pretty
yeah,
absurd.
it's great for racing. I will agree with you on that.
4 DRS zones and only 2 detection points, which is kind of funny. But yeah, it's absurd racing, and it's going to be really fun. I think through all 6 tiers.
Yeah. From a controller perspective, the best way I can describe it is it's like you're playing a song and each note it's like you get the rhythm correctly, but the notes just come out wrong every single time. And so the song just sounds completely off. And so, you're hitting everything you need to, but it just does not feel right at all when you make your way through on controller. At least from my experience. I don't know how it is for others. Granted, I'm not good at this game, so I bet other controller players can do this no problem. But yeah, at least from my perspective, it just feels uncomfortable even when you get the rhythm right for the track. It's just foreign, I guess you could say. But yeah, it's still going to produce some incredible racing. So we have a lot to look forward to next week.
Yep. Well.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was it. Be sure to check out the other tiers later in the day, including tier no assist. And we'll be seeing you all next week for the season finale. And then after that, we have a little bit of a hiatus before the new game releases, and we begin season 11 there. So a lot to look forward to. A new game and a new game engine too, right? They're doing Unreal Engine 4?
I think something like that.
Yeah, which makes me question Unreal Engine 5 exists when you're using that, but beggars can't be choosers. It's better than the current engine. So, yeah, a lot to look forward to in the coming months. So, I think it's going to be really exciting. So, we'll be seeing you all next week and then later on next season. See you all around.
See it.